It is the end of days here at Dissect That Film, or more, it's the end of the season. But we're here to talk about, to ring in this year that is 2025 with an Arnold Schwarzenegger classic, 1999's End of Days. Let's go!
Your host, Parker, Dan, and Angela slice and dice their way through the good.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
The bad.
You brought the devil!
There's a devil inside everyone.
And the ugly movies you love.
And you can't piss on hospitality. I won't allow it!
Hold your favorite films and franchises tight, because they aren't safe. In fact, it's already too late. It's time to dissect that film.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Dissect That Film, a podcast that dissects the good, the bad, and the ugly of cinema. I am your host, Brett Parker. Joining me, as always, my wonderful co-hosts, Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming.
Oh, you recognize him.
I know. It's a rare hatless episode.
I know. He was like, last episode of the season, no F's given. We're doing this hatless.
Just gonna stand up with my banana hammock on, like, yeah.
Whoa.
Betting the boys.
You have to pay for that content, everybody.
Yep.
That's why he has OnlyDans.
We'll just start losing subscribers. Fuck.
Listen,
They'll pay you to put your clothes on.
Yes, please.
listen, this podcast is it's that meme with the dog sitting in a restaurant and there's just a fire around and he's just like, oh, it's fine. That's how I envision this podcast every week when we do things. I'm just like, yep, it's fine. There's just a fire around us.
He's the fire.
Well, today,
that's
guys, it's our season finale. It's the end of another season. It's the end of the year. Where it's sad, but it's necessary because my brain is mush. But we are here to give you a final episode of the year, or at least the first episode of the year, because this technically will be out in 2025. So I don't know. It'll be
people.
Hello, 2025, and then
future.
Goodbye for a bit. But yeah, this is the season finale. Season 2 is done. It was a much shorter season than season 1. I think season 1 we did 139 episodes, and season 2 is more like 50. Something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, we last year we talked about Bloody New Year for our New Year's episode with the wonderful Joe Lascola from Movie Dumpster. And this year it's just us three because this is how it all started, and this is one of my favorite things to do is just hang out with Dan and Angela and talk about a movie. And today we are talking about our final Patreon poll winner of the year, and maybe for a bit, as we are talking about, I think this was my pick, right? Did I pick this one? Who picked this one?
Wasn't my pick.
I think this was you.
Was it
this
my
was not
pick?
me?
Okay.
I believe. What did you pick?
Hell, if I don't remember.
I can't.
Because I picked
It's
Terror
been a-
Train.
it's
That's
been a
right.
while.
You picked Terror Train. I picked this, and then Angela. I can't.
Whatever
I
I
can't
picked.
remember what Angela picked.
I
Oh,
can't
VHS
remember.
99. VHS 99.
That's right.
There you go.
End of Days 1, and to be honest, I think it's fitting. This movie literally ends on New Year's Day. So what better movie to talk about than End of Days? And also, a lot of people around this country or just around the world think that the end of days are upon us. So it's also fitting in that way. But we won't elaborate. We won't go any further.
I do that all the time.
Yes, I know. Let's just keep.
But this one took place when everybody was freaking out about all the computers were gonna, stop working.
Yeah. We recollect about it a little bit while we were watching it. I was like, hey, what were you doing on that New Year's Eve?
I don't remember. To be honest, I probably did not even pay attention to the fact that everybody was freaking out because I was 8. So it was like I was just being an 8-year-old kid. I wasn't worrying about all that.
Well, I have a conspiracy theory, Dad. So
Oh,
I was, I definitely had candles lit. I was waiting.
the end is near.
Yeah.
Arnold busts through the door. You got to get down. Get down.
They're after me and my tortillas. We've got to get out of here.
Yes.
But no, I was at home. Like, I just remember that night, like, my mom was asleep, my brother wasn't around. And I just remember like, oh, it's almost midnight, going downstairs and like turning the thing on, like ball drops, like, oh, and everything didn't shut off. Cool. All right, I'm going back upstairs or going to bed or whatever.
Everything
it hit
was
midnight.
everything was normal. It's crazy how that
Everything's
worked.
hunky-dory. Yep. Blew the candles out, went to bed.
Yeah, I can't remember. 8 years old. I don't know. I was probably playing video games or my mom made me go to bed. I don't remember. But End of Days from Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think this is our second movie with Arnold. As we did talk about Batman and Robin. This is our third. What else did we talk about? Predator! Damn it! Oh shit, never mind. Guys, this isn't even close to being our first Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. We've covered the entire Terminator series. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? We've talked about Arnold so much on this show. We've literally covered every Terminator movie, and he has been in almost every Terminator movie. So this is not even close.
This is our first movie where Arnold was a detective.
There you go. There it is. This is technically also actually I won't spoil the conclusion to the movie. I'll state the fact when we get to that point. Have you guys ever seen this movie before?
I have seen parts of this. It didn't realize, like I thought I had, and then when we watched this, I was like, I remember parts of this movie. But yeah, I never seen the whole thing. In the
90s, I was obsessed with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, I really enjoy watching his movies even today, even some like the cheesy ones. This was one that just was like, I remember renting it, and I was probably, this movie probably was rentable when I was around 9 years old. And I just was like, ooh, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I remember watching this movie going, what the hell is this? What is going on here? It just didn't feel like your typical Arnie movie. Like it was, because you're thinking Predator, you're thinking Terminator, you're thinking. I mean, I was watching like Eraser. You remember Eraser?
I've never seen it.
6th Day. That's another weird one. That's kind of not as dark as this, but it's more of the dark Arnie movies.
Also more like Commando.
Yeah, Commando. Just those wacky, and then of course Batman and Robin, which was like the one I think I watched the most because it was like Batman, yay! And I love Arnie as Mr. Freeze. He's so ridiculous, and the puns are absolutely ridiculous. We were not very nice to that movie though when we reviewed it. So if you want to listen to us be mean to Batman and Robin, go back and listen to our Batman and Robin episode.
Some of his punchlines for that movie are my only thing I like. That is like, chill, or you won't put me back in the cooler. Like we use that somewhat frequently around the house.
I think you have literally used that quote
on here
many episodes.
I do. I love it. And it's not necessarily because of that movie. It's because I love Terminal Montage.
Okay.
And they do parodies of video games and stuff like that. And that quote is used in the Resident Evil 4 remake one. And I'm like, oh, so fucking good.
But this was his first movie after Batman and Robin, because after Batman and Robin was done filming, he had heart surgery. And a lot of studios were afraid to hire him because of his health. And so he wasn't able to get jobs. And then he finally got this was 2 years after Batman and Robin. And there were literally, I guess, like insurance companies like on set while this movie was being made to make sure like he was good. So they didn't have to pay out of like, we don't want Arnold Schwarzenegger dying on set. That would be bad. And we would probably owe a lot of money.
A little bit.
Yes.
And this was kind of the end of an era. Like this was kind of the end of Arnold, like as this like Hollywood juggernaut. Because, he would of course continue to act. And then of course he becomes the governor of California, gets into politics and all that stuff. And then he comes back to acting after politics are over. But like he really doesn't do anything that's like, oh my God, Arnold's back. He was in, of course, the Terminator sequels other than Salvation. He did the Expendable movies. And then he did like movies here and there, but he wasn't like, this was it. This was kind of the last, like, hurrah for Arnold Schwarzenegger. And of course it comes in 1999. So it literally was the end of a decade and the end of an era in my eyes.
Well, even I remember thinking that too. And I wasn't the biggest like movie guy at this point. Like I really distinctly remember being like my family would talk about it. Like they kind of bitched about this movie. I remember people complaining about this movie when it came out.
Of course, it has to do with religion.
Yeah, which it's a fair point. Like Stigmata and shit came out around this time too.
It came out the same year.
Well, there you go.
It had Gabriel Byrne, who we're going to talk about.
There you go.
I thought I had seen him before.
I know I've seen him in other shit too, and I just never put my finger on it. But no, I hear people talk about it, and then like outside of it was like this, and I think he did like what, The Sixth Day or some shit like
this. Yeah, I just
mentioned
movie. That Sixth Day. I think did that come? Yeah, that came out in what, I think like 2002 or something, or maybe.
Yeah, I remember the advertisements for The Sixth Day. I remember for this, and then I remember T3.
Yep,
which was after this, right? And then
that's
like I didn't read anything like until like his Expendable movies.
Yeah, well, like, I think he becomes the governor. I think he became the governor of California in 2004, and so he wasn't doing anything over the course of however many years he was the governor. Because I think that was partially why he wasn't in Salvation, because he was being governor and couldn't do it, even though they still used his likeness on the T-800. And I guess he wasn't happy about it. But we've talked about that movie too, so make sure. Literally, we've talked about every Terminator movie. So if you want, there's a playlist on our YouTube, or you can just type in Dissect That Film Terminator and you'll get a lot of content. So check all those episodes out. As for this movie, it was directed by Peter Hyams, who is actually a prolific director. He directed such movies as 2010, The Year We Make Contact, which was the sequel to 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Okay.
He directed the film he's most famous for is a 1977 film called Capricorn 1, which I believe was a joke in Seinfeld, if I do believe. He also directed a few movies with Jean-Claude Van Damme, Sudden Death, and Time Cop, and then he directed Relic a couple years before this movie came out.
Relic's dope.
Yeah.
For what I remember seeing of it, I was like, hey, it's a monster movie. That's cool as fuck.
He was not the original director for this movie. It was actually Marcus Nispel, the guy behind the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Friday the 13th remake.
Oh,
he was the first one to be brought on, but there is conflicting stories. So supposedly he left the project due to creative differences and the budget, but actually from what he states is that his demands for the studio for him to come on as director got leaked to the public. And so he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go.
Fair enough.
Yeah. There were some other directors. Sam Raimi and Guillermo del Toro were actually offered to direct. And Tom Cruise was actually the actor this Jericho Kane was written for. And he ended up doing Magnolia that year. And so
that bitch.
Arnie came in. Liv Tyler was the first choice to play Christine York, who is played by Robin Tunney in this. Kate Winslet was actually the actress that they brought in right before they brought in Robin Tunney, because Kate Winslet dropped out.
Oh.
And there's just some funny things that were brought up from so Miriam Margolyes, who plays the nurse, and she plays like the stepmom in this. She's mostly, I think when people see her, they're like, oh, it's Professor Sprout from Harry Potter, the first Harry Potter movie. She's a prolific stage actor over in the UK. And she is like fantastic. And if you ever watch clips of the Graham Norton show, she always gives the best interviews because she don't give a fuck about what she says about anyone. She will call out anybody she does not like. And I guess she called out Arnold Schwarzenegger back in 2016 that he wasn't he didn't behave very well on set. And supposedly, from what she stated, he farted in her face on set. And Arnold,
was she standing up? Is he that much taller?
She's 5'1".
I mean, she's tiny. So I don't know if it was just like
he's 6'2", so possibly
he just walked by
for you.
Arnold got a big payday for this movie, though. $25 million was just for the budget. Yeah, right. But this movie actually didn't do terrible at the box office. It did have a $100 million budget. It still made $212 million at the box office. So it's technically a success. It didn't get good reviews. I don't think it got any good reviews. Actually, I think Arnold Schwarzenegger and Peter Hyams were nominated for worst director and worst actor for the Razzies, but the Razzies are stupid, so I don't give a shit about those. I think Gabriel Byrne was also nominated for like worst supporting actor. I was like, Gabriel Byrne is like the best part of this movie. Like I love his performance in this. It's just, I think, perfect for what he's supposed to do. This was released November 24th, 1999. It had a runtime of 2 hours and 2 minutes.
And too long.
Slightly. Yeah, I do. I will agree with that. It's slightly too long. Like, it's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Like, do we really need a lot of dialogue? No, thanks.
No, it should have been like an hour and 45 minutes.
I agree.
I think that would have felt a little bit better.
Dan Winston helped do some of the effects in this movie. There was actually supposed to be more practical effects, but I guess due to the way that Peter Hyams shoots his movies and time, he was like, well, we're going to do a lot of CG. And so a lot of Stan Winston's effects were replaced by CG with the help of Ryman Hughes visual effects.
That bastard.
Yeah. Peter Hyams also is the cinematographer of this movie. He has literally been his own cinematographer for every movie he has directed since 1984.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
So
someone's full of himself. Just kidding.
Or he just, he's like, if anyone's going to complain how this movie is shot, I can't complain because I'm the one shooting it and I'm the one setting these things up. So, but I guess Arnold's biggest complaint about working with him was the fact that like Peter Hyams loved shooting like things really dark, and he's like, you can't see anything. Like, this is like some Alien v Predator Requiem type shit going on here. What's going on? We got Daniel Pearl shooting this movie. What's happening?
He was there. He just credited.
Yeah. The music was done by John Debney, who we've talked about. I think we talked about it. Hopefully we did. He was the composer for Komodo, which came out this same year. He also, I mean, he's still going. He actually composed 3 movies that came out this year. He did the Garfield movie. He did the 2 Horizon movies from Kevin Costner.
Yes.
And Space Cadet, which was a Netflix movie with Emma Roberts, I think. I heard it was terrible. But he also did the score for Hocus Pocus and Hocus Pocus 2.
Mm-hmm.
So we have that.
Is there another movie you wanted to chime in on that he was the composer for?
Did I get to it yet?
It was made in 2017.
Did I miss something? Oh, The Greatest Showman.
So it was composed. So it was him with another guy for that one. He did, well, where I just saw it. Oh, he was a composer for Iron Man 2
and the Jungle Book remake.
The Jungle Book remake, Predators.
Oh,
the 2010 Predator sequel. Hannah Montana the movie. Gotta shout that out. Gotta shout that out.
Gots to, dude.
The best of both worlds, you know.
He helped do music for The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. So it's a movie we've talked about before.
Oh. Yep. Boy.
He's done a lot. He's either composed or he helps do additional music. He actually helped do additional music for the Spider-Man trilogy, the original Spider-Man trilogy. And then I think he was actually nominated for an Academy Award for his score for The Passion of the Christ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's got a lot. As for the cast, as if anyone didn't know, we have Arnold Schwarzenegger as Detective Jericho Kane. To be honest, I just called him Arnie the entire movie. I don't think I called him Jericho in my notes one time. The funniest thing is that I guess to promote this movie, he actually did some promo on WWE, which was WWF at the time. Because you had Chris Jericho and you had Kane. So they kind of did like a thing with that. And yeah, that's all I really know about it.
I didn't realize that.
Gabriel Byrne as the Man, or as I call him in my notes, the Devil Man.
I just called him Dr. Satan the whole movie. He's not even a doctor.
Dr. Satan, Dr. Satan, Dr. Satan,
yes.
Dr. Satan, Dr. Satan.
Yes, thank you.
Hey guys, what other movie this season did Gabriel Byrne show up in?
Fuck, I don't know.
Ghost Ship.
Oh,
oh,
that's right.
We're talking about Robin Tunney again. She plays Christine York. What movie was she in?
The Craft.
The Craft. I was not expecting to see nudity from her in this movie, but we did. Kevin Pollock.
You got some booba.
We did. I mean, I don't know if it was her. They had her back turned. Could have been a double, but I'm going to pretend like it was.
True.
Kevin Pollock as Bobby Chicago. Did not know his last name was Chicago, and that is weird as hell.
Yep. He was one of my favorite characters in the movie.
Yeah.
I like Bobby.
He's one of those characters where you see Kevin Pollock's name, you're like, oh, wonder how this is going to play out, especially with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It just seems like a weird pairing. And then they're together and you're like, I like this. I like this a lot.
Oh, yeah.
CCH. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, he's just that guy. You know exactly what's going to happen to him in the movie.
Yeah.
Like you watch, like, yeah, you know. But go ahead. Sorry.
You know.
Yes, CCH Pounder as Detective Marge Francis. This is the second time we've talked about her on this show. Do you guys remember the other movie?
I do.
What is it, Dan?
I just want to laugh at her name for a second. CCH Pounder. No offense. I don't know if that's like her actual name or her stage name or whatever. It's hilarious. She's cool because I was like,
her name is.
So I remember
Carol Christine Hilaria Pounder.
Okay. Even the credits was like, oh, it's the motherfucker in her CCH Pounder, and I figured it was her. I was like, damn it. I know she was in King of the Monsters. She was in the beginning of the movie, Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the monster scene. Okay.
Well, it's also it's the
she's the one who's talking.
I'm gonna leave this up, but I don't remember this is the one that has the censored genitalia or not. But we'll be right back.
Oh, that's right. She's one of the senators.
Titan, Titan reproductor. But I remember her from The Shield because I used to watch
the show.
Yeah, when it first came out, like we were watching when new episodes and shit were dropping.
Okay, well, do you remember the other? Okay, so we've covered. I guess this is the third movie we've covered on this show with her in it. Do you remember the other one?
She was in Orphan.
Orphan, right? Derek O'Connor as Thomas Aquinas, or the tongueless priest.
Well, he's been in another movie.
Yep, I'm looking.
We've covered.
Yep. Okay. Sure has actually two.
Yep.
Oh, wait, we talked about this, didn't we?
He was in Deep Rising and.
He was the captain. Yep.
And then he was the preacher in Daredevil, which we haven't covered.
No.
But I just remember it from Daredevil.
No, but we were talking about it, and I don't remember.
He technically was in another movie we've covered on the show.
Hold on. Keep going. We're cheating.
I mean, I have to cheat because I can't remember.
I don't know.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest.
Oh,
he just.
Oh, you right, because we were talking about that.
I don't remember. He's just very old man. That's literally what his name is. Man. So I don't know. I don't remember. Miriam
said he's just good at being old men.
Yeah, I guess so. Miriam Margolyes as Mabel. Udo Kier as Dr. Abel. Have we?
Dr. Abel. Dr. Abel.
Dr. Abel. Dr. Abel.
I hate every ape I see, from chimpanzee to chimpanzee.
I'm trying to remember. Have we talked about him before on the show? I don't.
Yes, he's in one of the Blade movies.
Is he in the first one?
I think he's in the first one. I think he's the devil that Deacon Frost.
He was. He was Gaetano Dragonetti.
That's it. That's the guy.
We have talked about him one time.
The damn song is stuck in my head now. Thank you, both of you.
Dr. Zayas.
Mark Margolyes as the Pope. I know him from. He was the landlord in Ace Ventura.
Yes, he was.
And he also is in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
And Double Dildo.
Hector Salamanca.
He's in Requiem for a Dream.
I've literally never seen that movie, and to be honest, I have zero interest in seeing that movie.
I just remember the end.
My buddy's like, "You should watch this," and I was like, "Don't forget the ending scene." I was like, "All right."
I was like, I could have gone without the ending scene, but thanks. Thank you.
Rob Steiger as Father Kovac. We have not talked about him before. Victor Varnado as Albino. Mark Lawrence as Old Man. Denise D. Lewis as Emily Kane. Renee Olstead as Amy Kane. And Mo Galini as Monk. There we go.
Hello, Mo.
That is the cast and the crew and everything. Oh, we forgot to talk. It was written by Andrew Marlowe, who also wrote Air Force One.
Oh,
okay. And Hollow Man. So good on you. He did a lot of TV stuff. All right. Are we ready to hop? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, fine. You go ahead. Keep.
I'm just saying. Are you guys ready to jump into our final plot of 2024 or the first one of 2025, whatever we want to consider this, or the last plot of the season? Let's just say that. Are we ready?
Yeah.
It's going to be a hell of a time.
Hell of a time. All right. One last time. It is time to dissect that. Boom. So the movie starts at the Vatican in 1979, and a priest is looking upon the moon, and there's some weird thing going on with the moon, and it's the eye of God. And that's concerning. So he goes to the Pope and he's like, hey, there's a baby that's going to be born today that will later bear the child of the devil. And the Pope's like, all right. Which the Pope is the same from this scene to the end of the movie. He's just in very poor health at the end. And of course, we literally get the title of the movie in like the first 3 minutes of this movie, where it's like, it'll bring the end of days, is literally a line that is said. And I'm like, hey, already? Wow, you didn't even waste any time. So the Pope says you got to find her and you have to protect her and we have to change her fate. But there's also one of the cardinals is just like, we need to kill her. Like, I mean, he's in the back. He's like, kill her.
Yep, right.
And the Pope's
Fuck
like,
Pope's
like, we don't do that. We don't do that. That's not that's not going to fix anything. Yeah. He's like,
we pay other people to do
that. So now we are in New York City 6 hours later from this point, and a baby is born, and it is just taken out of a room, brought down to the basement, where a dude is just, it's Udo Kier with a knife, just cutting a freaking rattlesnake over this baby, who
normal
in some shots is a real baby. Feel
other
bad
shots,
for
not so much.
No, other shots, it's just a doll.
when she's pushing it through the door and the legs are just up in the air, I'm like, yeah, it's a doll.
Mm-hmm.
It's got stiff legs, dude. Babies do that.
They do.
I know.
They do.
But nobody has questioned this nurse.
Yeah, they like
who's pushing around a baby that's not even wrapped up in a blanket.
Why?
Yeah,
for one, I'd be like that doctor that was in the elevator, just like, where are you going?
Well, yeah, especially like,
isn't that a what? Just he's like, I don't know. I don't care.
So my only experience with Babis, well, actually, when Victor, he was taken out of the room and brought back, wasn't he?
Yeah, but see, like, I don't know when the whole like security thing started with babies, where they started like asking all the questions, and we had security bands on ours, so if they were taken out off the floor, an alarm would sound. I don't know when all that started.
Well, I meant like Ridley was cleaned up in the room.
Well, yeah, so
I think
Victor.
most babies are cleaned up in the room.
Yeah.
The only reason they take them out of the room is either for like any type of procedure, or they put them in the nursery, which I don't even think they do that much anymore. With like, you look through the windows and
he just said
your
procedure.
baby.
I know.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because Ridley had to. They had to because he was a little jaundiced when he was born, so they like.
Yeah. So for anything, it's like any emergency type thing, but
it's like a rotisserie just with a baby in it.
And his sugar went low a little bit.
Basting it. It's vitamins and minerals. It'll make you better.
Yeah, they get a big old basting brush. It's so funny.
But yeah, it's and then he literally like dips his finger in the snake blood and is like, suck on that finger.
Pokes the hole where he just stabbed. He's like in the snake. Like, are you fingering the snake?
Yep. And this is baby Christine. So it is now 20 years later. It is December 28th, 1999. Y2K is close. And there's some work being done at a bunch of manholes in downtown New York City. And then they just start blowing up. It's just explosions. Boom, boom, boom. And then this weird invisible ghost comes out. And I was like, is this the Frighteners?
Yes.
Oh. But I guess this was supposed to be some sort of like, hey, remember Arnold was in a movie called The Predator where it turned invisible? And this is kind of what it looked like. And I was like, okay.
Was it? No.
The Invisible Man.
What now?
Oh, it's the Invisible Man.
Pretty much.
So we see him.
Throw some flour on him.
Yeah. So I see you now. But it's like, this is how he rises from hell. It's just like explosions in a manhole. He's like, I'm free. It's time to find woman.
After 10,000 years, I'm finally free. Time to conquer Earth.
10,000 years. It's such
Alpha. I was exactly. I was gonna make a continue. I was gonna make a Power Rangers reference. I'm sorry. Keep going.
So we then see a man go into a restaurant, meets up with a couple.
Did he look like a man?
He looked like a man. He acted like a man. And he is Gabriel Byrne. And he goes into the bathroom to freshen up. And the invisible demon devil thing possesses him. Oh, he fully embraces him. He's just like, he just like convulses on the floor and everything. And the fact that he was able to clean himself up so fast, I guess that was his devil powers. He was just like, whoop, I'm all cleaned up. Didn't look like I just convulsed on the floor in the bathroom. Don't worry about me. But then he proceeds.
There's no way he did not shit his pants after that.
He just has them around his legs. Just shit-stained undies. You know, it's the 90s. So everybody was wearing whitey tighties.
As he walks out there, he just shakes his leg.
Oh no! It's like those. It's like those videos. It's like those videos that people's security at like grocery stores. It's just
that bothers me so much.
I'm like, what are we doing? Like, I felt like back when I was in retail, if that video ever got like somebody saw that and was like, oh, well, that came from that store. Well, somebody's getting in trouble for that because that's messed up. Like most of the time, it's like usually it's like elderly people, and it's like that's like clearly. They got a problem, so
I know things happen, but like when you feel like something's going on, you should probably go to the bathroom.
Oh, absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree.
We've cleaned up a lot of poop.
Yeah, some people are just apparently don't know how to use it. Cleaning up bathrooms at a movie theater, yes.
People are gross.
I could write my name on the wall.
Oh no.
Multiple times. And not just dudes, it was ladies too. Both places are equally fucked up and disgusting.
Do you remember me telling you about the big stall in the men's bathroom that had poop on the opposite side of where the toilet? It's like, how the hell did you get it up there? It was on the ceiling.
Magic of chimpanzee poop flinging skills.
Levitate it with your mind. You don't have to touch it then.
But yeah, so Gabriel Byrne proceeds out of the bathroom, goes up to the woman he was just eating dinner with, makes out with her, and then whips her boob out too. Like that, and the dude is just sitting there like, hey, and he just looks at him. He's like, proceed. And she's into it. She is so into it. And then
he has a hell of a hot flash afterwards.
Oh yeah, because the restaurant blows up, and this is our second Arnold callback where it's Gabriel Byrne walking out of the fire like the T-1000 and T2. Yes. There is some music.
Gabriel Byrne.
I'm sorry, but there is some music in this movie that does sound like it's from a Terminator movie.
I believe it. And Gabriel Byrne, you were cool, but you're not Arnie walking out of an explosion T-1000.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Oh, you mean
an Arnie? It was just a movie. It was like a callback to a movie he was in.
Oh, just in general. Okay.
Oh, yeah. What's the song about?
Cool guys don't look at explosions. They just blow stuff up and they walk away.
Yep.
You got time to look at explosions.
That's the song.
So then we meet Arnie's character, Jericho Kane, and he is clearly going through some shit because he is holding a gun up to his head, and then his buddy walks in, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, just cleaning it. No worries." His buddy knows what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Then he creates possibly the nastiest smoothie you could ever concoct. Literally pizza and just drinks he's finding on the counter.
Pizza that he found off the floor?
Yeah, a piece of toast or bread or something he found out. Yeah, it was disgusting. Yep. And you find out that he runs security with Kevin Pollak's character, Bob. I think his name's Bob, right?
I think so.
And he notices that there's things going on with him because you find out that his wife and daughter were killed, but you don't know how. You just know that they died.
COVID.
That's a little too early for that. Sure. Mad cow disease.
That's it. That was the style at the time.
Yeah. You gotta have the right pandemic, the right time. Dan.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. SARS and shit. That was a little after that.
Yeah. So yeah, he's running security for our new Devil Man, and
Wait, Devil Man?
Devil man.
Like the
man.
What now?
He's the man.
Like the anime series Devilman by Go Nagai.
That.
All right. Man. Okay. There we go. But they start getting shot at. Oh no! Who's shooting at them? Arnie takes a few to the chest, and you're like, well, he's clearly not. I love when they do these like fake outs. You're like, Arnie's clearly not dead. It's only 10 minutes into the movie. But of course, it's like Bobby. He like opens up his vest. He's like, please, you definitely put it on today, right? And he opens it up. He's got his bulletproof vest on. This is the music in this scene. The music starts playing, the score, and I'm like, hello? Like, this is a Terminator. This is some Terminator shit right here.
Hi, hello?
It's literally like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, come on, man.
Come on.
Oh, Peter Heim, I guess, is like really good friends with James Cameron. And James Cameron was actually the one to recommend he direct this movie because, of course, James Cameron had experience working with Arnie and really had a good relationship with him. And Peter Hyams and Arnie did not get along. So let's just say Peter Hyams was not too happy with James after that. See, then we get this crazy helicopter scene, which is just like, huh? I don't think you can fly helicopters that low inside a major city. I don't care what you're doing. You are working. He works for a security company. Like, he's not getting permits to fly a helicopter just 20 feet off the ground or like right above a tall building. Like, it is insane. Like, he literally straps himself to the helicopter. He gets up there, he jumps out, and then he's just hanging from the helicopter as he's chasing this man across the rooftop and then grabs the guy as he's about to jump off the building. But that's not where it ends, people. It just keeps going. So he then drops him and then unhooks from the helicopter, chases him
instantly.
Down. Yes, instantly.
He hits the ground, it's instantly unhooked.
Yeah, he just rolls out of it. I was like, okay. He chases after him, goes down into like an old subway area, and you find out it's the priest from the beginning, the one who warns the Pope about the eye of God. And he tells Arnie this verse from the Bible about like how the end of days are coming, and you have to, it all has to play out to what's happening in the movie. And then Kevin Pollak just runs into the scene and clearly does not know how to hold a gun. And my wife pointed this out. She's like, did you see him run? He's just flopping that thing around. Like, I had to rewind it to see it again because I didn't notice it at first. And I was like, Kevin Pollak doesn't know how to hold a gun.
He's running.
Especially the gun he's using in this movie. I didn't have to look it up. His I didn't know. I knew what Arnie had. It's like the fucking Glock variant.
I guess it was like a brand new Glock variant. Like it was like the Glock newest 34 model or something like that.
Yeah, like an extended barrel and like the cutouts on the top of the slide. Because there's some other Glocks, but they wanted to give him a special Glock.
Yeah, he's Arnie. Duh.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to give him a bigger gun. He's a bigger guy, so it looks better on him, right? Mm-hmm. A couple of things I want to point out. While he's chasing the dude attached to the helicopter, that helicopter's moving awfully slow for a helicopter. Just want to point that out. Secondly, when Arnie gets shot by the dude, I had to look that up because I didn't get a good look at the rifle while we were watching the movie. It's a foul. Fires 308. It would have punched clean through the armor he had on. We'll gloss over that fact too. But yeah, he did. The one guy, the priest though, had a little Smith and Wesson revolver.
Oh,
when he gets knocked out of his hand, you see it. You see the little Smith and Wesson logo on it. I'm like, cool. Yep. Oh, and his buddy Bobby has a P7, which is an H&K, and they have on the grip of one. I wish I had one here to show you on a grip of one, but YouTube would destroy us. There's actually a grip cocker. So on the front, there's like a little, almost like a thing, and you have to squeeze it, and then it cocks the gun. It will not fire unless you apply the right amount of pressure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's firearms that use grip safety. Yeah, there's some firearms that use grip safeties too. This isn't the same thing. This is a grip cocker. Like, it will not shoot unless it's under the right amount of pressure.
Interesting. I did not know those were a thing. That sounds very futuristic.
It's kind of a pain in the ass, in my opinion, but some people don't mind them. So,
all right. So this is when we meet Detective Marge Francis, played by CCH Pounder, and she tells...
Fucking pound all that shit. She's pounding all them bitches. All of them.
she tells.
I'm not making fun of her. I like her. I like her as an actress. I fucking like her roles.
This is where Arnie is explaining that the priest was like going off about this Bible verse and about, you know, telling her exactly what she said. She's like, well, I don't know how that's possible because he doesn't have a tongue. And he's like, huh? Like Tim Allen just comes out of the corner. And so, yeah, everybody's like scratching their head like, well, how did he speak if he had no tongue? And Arnie's just mad. He's just like, I gotta find out what's happening with this man. And Bobby's just like, but we're not cops, so I don't know why you even care. He's like, oh, I'll go fly. I'm not even gonna keep attempting to do an Arnie impersonation.
No, please. Please keep going.
Just keep going with the bad ones so people can get really mad. Like, wow, you're terrible. And it's like, I'll admit, yes, I am. And then they go to Spoda's bar, which is he finds a matchbook in the priest's pocket that has this bar. And I guess he goes there. The priest was literally there like every day, just getting hammered and just spewing off a bunch of nonsense. And then he goes back to to his like grungy underground apartment, which is like, that's disgusting. Spoda's bar is named after Peter Hyams' wife. That's her maiden name.
Gotcha.
So they go to the priest's home, and it's gross. And he literally finds the jar that has the dude's tongue in it. That's just in the wall. Like, okay, good spot.
Let's just stick this right here,
Hey,
so I don't
would you
lose
like
it.
a snack? Are you coming over? Would you like a snack? I have some chips. I have some pickles. Oh, hey, I have a tongue in a jar.
Yum.
I can answer my own question. We're talking about grip safeties.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, that's futuristic. The Colt 1907
Mm-hmm.
had grip safety, and the 1911. So
Okay.
some 1911s you could buy. I think you could still buy them with it when it first came out. So like it's existed for over 100 years. I never knew that. So we all learned something today.
We did.
I learned something new every day.
I learned yeah,
The more you
I'm
know.
the same. Especially on this show. I always learn something new.
Walking into people's houses teaches me something every day.
Ugh.
Today was a new one. That's for another time. Carry on.
He finds the verse that the priest spewed to him, kind of written on the wall. And we get a cat jump scare. Just
Whoa.
cat in the
Right
fridge.
there.
Yeah, cat in the fridge.
That's where you keep them.
Yeah. You just open it up and it's like, Meow. You're like, whoa.
What if the cat was hot? And it was like, I'm a little warm. I want to go in the fridge for a while.
Is there like a hole it can go in and out of? Because like somebody would have to open and close it all the time.
Maybe
I mean,
it's
it is
got
a
like
fridge,
a
so it takes. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, they got long fur, right? So they can keep warm for a while.
Yeah, it's just got the canister. Like that's all that's in there, right? Like it was the canister and the cat.
Yeah, I think so. Well, what canister?
You think
There was a canister in there?
Yeah, well, then was it the canister that had what's her name's picture in it? Christine's picture.
Oh, that's
in it?
right. Yep.
I know why they did it. Because in case Emotep broke in.
Oh, right.
He doesn't like cats. In case Satan teams up with Emotep, because they would probably know each other.
Yeah, I mean they're different religions, but probably.
I assume
they all have like a club.
Hole.
Yeah, it's like they have their, like every religion has their own like underworld, but they have like one central place that they all get to hang out with, like each other.
Yeah, it's called Hiffle, the home for infinite losers.
I thought you were about to say somebody's name, and I was like, oh well, I got to cut that out.
No. I wonder who actually gets that reference.
I don't know. Leave it down in the comments, or I don't know. Send me a DM. I don't care.
Fuck it. No, I'm gonna tell you. It's from Dragon Ball Z. It's
okay,
from the.
Don't comment down below because Dan just spoiled it. Thanks, Dan.
I did. I don't care. I'm gonna tell people because nobody's gonna fucking.
Way to go, Dan.
I know, right? You can still comment. So they called it that because, of course, there's hell in Dragon Ball Z when you fall off Snake Way, but in the dub they had to change it for censorship reasons, or for like the broadcast version, so they changed it to Hiffle.
I always found it funny when hell was censored.
Hell is for children.
The funniest censor is when they bleep hole in asshole. They'll say ass, but they'll bleep hole.
What's the one when they do GD and
they
bleep God and not damn?
Yep.
It never made any sense to me.
Never made sense, but whatever.
So we are now at a cemetery with Christine or Robin Tunney in her Interesting haircut. And then we're immediately back with Arnie and Bobby in the apartment. And the cops show up and they're doing the, oh, like, you know, I got gun, you have gun, ah!
Everybody screams.
Yeah, in this town of Halloween. This is where we learn the priest's history about how he came to New York City in the early 80s and has been here. You know, he worked for the church and then kind of just disappeared and became like a hermit and all that stuff, just wandered around yelling at people. And it's pretty much like, yeah, we got to go find this girl. So we are then with Christine on the subway, and we see this unfortunate man who we actually saw a little bit before, that he was just on the street, but we see him on the subway train. He like does that awkward thing where, you know, when you're on a subway, you're kind of just like, you grab onto the bar, but you're like, I'm going to get my crotch as close to this person as possible. And then just be like, hey, you're pretty. And it's like, okay, I'm going to move. So yeah, he starts just spouting nonsense to her and about how he's going to fuck her. He's going to fuck her, and just keeps on repeating it over and over again to the point where she gets mad. And when she touches him, he just crumbles like a vase. He's just pieces everywhere.
And that's why the kids called him Mr. Glass.
Samuel Jackson. Oh, this was the albino.
Yep.
Did not realize that. I was like, I just knew him as the homeless guy.
He's a weird motherfucker, dude.
So the actor, Victor Varnado, he's been in a lot of stuff. He was born with albinism. I think that's what you call it. Yeah. But yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff. I think, what was the last thing I saw him in? Was it a show?
Oh, he was in Pluto Nash. Oh, God.
I feel like, was he in a John Wick movie? No, there was another guy that I think, okay, he stopped acting in 2011. Arnie goes in, he's looking through a box that's like, it has a lot of memories from his daughter and his wife, and he finds a music box, and then you get like the sad attempt from Arnie to look sad. The tears, like, are there tears? Somebody look. Let's look close. Are there tears on his face? Also, Arnold Schwarzenegger in this movie is like 50. I think he's like 52 at the time this movie was made, because I think he was born in 47. So he was in his 50s, and this man was still ripped as hell. This man was built with that
like a brick shit house.
Literally, that's what Dan's dressed as today. Like, Dan came looking like Arnie in that scene.
That's it. Yep, that's me
putting out the gun show. And he's repeating that verse in his head constantly, and then he's like, oh, okay. So it pretty much is like stating that after 1,000 years, Satan is going to come back and birth the Antichrist type thing.
Isn't he the Antichrist though?
No, he's the devil.
Is that different?
Yes.
Oh,
so
is this like the God?
So here it is.
The Holy Ghost, where they're
no,
same,
so Jesus. No. So Jesus is the Son of God, right?
Yes.
So the son of the devil is the Antichrist, the anti-Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how that's my best clarification for you.
Okay.
So you find out Christine's parents are dead, and I went, yeah, they were probably killed. They were probably killed by these people. They were murdered. Because you find out that the nurse from the beginning of the movie that sends her down to the creepy basement is now her stepmom, because I guess she ended up marrying the dad after the mom died or whatever.
So weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. And Udo Kier, the weird guy who's carving into rattlesnakes, I guess he's like the high priestess of the like Satanist group here. But he is he's Christine's psychiatrist, because she's like having issues and she calls him up. Arnie goes to the church. He has a really interesting conversation with the priest, and all about like the fact that because he doesn't believe in God, that he's like, I'm not going to answer your questions. So peace. And just like,
that seems like the opposite.
Away. I was like, well, he's like, when you figure out your faith, you come talk to me. But since you don't believe, bye. And just like fades off to another room.
How come Faith by George Michael doesn't play?
Well, he does the whole thing with Homer, and he just
into the bushes. Or it's that game, Faith. I've got the body of a pig. Or the little 8-bit horror game the kids used to quote all the time. They watch Markiplier play. Yeah. Sorry. Anyway.
No, you got to play Faith by Limp Bizkit.
Yes, that one.
So yeah, Arnie's like, well, I'm gonna go follow him down wherever he went, and he goes downstairs and he sees there's a woman strapped to a bed. Either there's an exorcism going on or something else weird is happening here. I just love the dudes that are just on like the computers, just like just looking up shit, and this woman's in the back like like spouting off Bible verses.
You catch the one playing solitaire.
That man's playing Galaga. Didn't think we noticed, but we did. I don't see, the thing is with the preacher here, because I don't know what this is, Catholic probably. This is from New York.
They would be, if it's Catholic, they're
fathers.
Something like that.
Yeah, well, I don't know what they are. But anyway, it seems really weird that they would, like, at least my experience with religion and stuff, they would like, you don't believe, shove you away. They'd be more like, well, if you need answers, they would try to enlighten you.
Yeah, because then they would be like, oh, if there's a way we can bring him over to our side, right? Like, instead it's just like, you don't believe? Get out of here. And it's like, oh, well, that seems like a poor strategy on your part.
I don't know. Like I said, my experiences with what's most of the churches here, Southern Baptist and stuff. Yeah. I don't know.
But he talks about stigmatas too. And I was like, hey, there was a movie that came out the same year called Stigmata, which also had Gabriel Byrne, who played a priest or whatever. He was a good guy in that one. So Devilman walks the streets and he's passing over so many symbols that are just all over the place in the city. And I'm also hearing Super Beast by Rob Zombie faintly in the background. Did you hear that?
Was it?
He was like, hell yeah, I'm the one that you wanted. Hell yeah, I'm the super beast. That was, I'm not even kidding. Like, I was literally like, that's got some Rob
What's
Zombie.
The soundtrack? Can you find the soundtrack? Okay.
Look it up.
Thank you.
Actually, I got it right here. Oh, we got some Korn, Everlast, Limp Bizkit, because Crush is in there, Guns N' Roses.
Super Beast.
Yes, it was the girl on a motorcycle mix version.
Oh, nice.
I got some Eminem was in this. Power Man 5000, which is Rob Zombie's brother. Did you know that?
Is it really
the singer of Power Man 5000? Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah,
maybe he directs better movies.
He is a director too. He just
does he? I want to know.
Yeah.
Did he? Oh fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, his name is Spider One.
Interesting.
Like, actually?
I don't think that's his actual name. It's like Rob Zombie's actual name isn't Rob Zombie.
I don't know. Maybe they just got that name.
I mean, it probably is now, but I don't think that's like it. That's not. It was like born as like, oh, congratulations, zombie family. Your son Robert.
Robert.
Robert Zombie.
Ooh. Robert Bartley Cummings is his name.
Click on Spider One. I want to see what he did.
His name is Michael Cummings.
Michael and Cummings. Chosen one. I'm coming.
Oh, fuck. All right. Well, we then go to Udo Kier's and this is where we get another weird ass scene because Devilman shows up. And he's like, everything is going according to plan. And he's like, all right, cool. Hey, is this your wife and daughter? And he's like, yes. And he's like, well, I'm going to go fuck him. And we get this weird ass threesome, which I don't know if it's a dream or if this is actually happening. But then they start morphing into each other. And I was like, what is going on? Also, how old is this daughter? Because we see boobies and hopefully she's of age. This is weird.
And then the mom and daughter kiss, and I'm like,
but then they like start like doing some weird society type crap where it's just like there's like becoming one. You're like,
like, I know I can sell this movie. How's that wincest? Like, okay.
Hey, have you ever seen the movie Society? What if that movie was in CG? It's like, no, thank you.
I'll pass.
I like practical effects. Thank you. So yeah, that was weird. But then it's Christine waking up from a nightmare. And I was like, was she dreaming that? Or was it just like a real thing then getting twisted into her dream? Weird. But and this is where we get Limp Bizkit playing when she wakes up. You're like, yeah. So Devilman. Oh no, Limp Bizkit is playing during the weird threesome. And then Christine wakes up. I was gonna say, I don't think No, it was. Yeah, man. It's just so out of place. I'll give it all for the cookie. It's just like, this is weird. The weirdest.
That looks like listen, you know what should have fucking played during this scene? Because it would have fit, like, at least imagery close. It's a fucking Tool. Like, that would have been, like, spot on. If you've ever seen Tool music videos. I'm
surprised. Creed had a song on the soundtrack.
Could have played, like, Prison Sex or Stink Fist or something. Those are good fucking songs. They are good.
It doesn't even sound like it's a real song. Stink Fist.
It's great. It's really good, though.
I believe you, but it's just weird.
I like it.
Man. So Devilman goes to the police station and he just calls out this pedo cop. And I was like, all right, I don't like that guy.
It's like, you better let me in, dude. I know you're diddling.
Yep.
It's like, fuck.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, you got me. So then he goes into the priest's hospital room because you find out the priest is still alive somehow. I do like I really don't understand the Razzies. They're stupid. I fucking hate the Razzies. Gabriel Byrne is just so eerie in this movie. And he's just, every time he's in a scene, he's so good at being so slimy. And when he's in this hospital room with the priest and he's like making him do things without even touching him, like he brings him up, like he raises him up in the bed and he's just like, you can see like he's straining for his life. And then he opens up the little protector and he blows the smoke in there. But then you don't see what he does to him. You see the aftermath because Arnie and Bobby and the cop show up right after Devilman, because Devilman's the devil. He could just kind of disappear. He doesn't need to like walk back through the same door again. And they go in there and there's just blood everywhere, but they don't see him. And then they look up to the ceiling and the dude is just like nailed to the ceiling. He dead now.
A little bit.
Yeah. Well, he does. You do get like the jump scare where he jerks up for a minute and it's like, oh, and then he fully dies.
But he gets shot by pedo.
Oh yeah, pedo cop shoots him in the head. But you get the whole thing where like the doctor has to try to read the Latin that's carved into his chest.
I like how just all doctors just know Latin.
You're like, oh, excuse me, I know doctor things. Let me read this. He's like, devil man, we'll get your daughter, man.
That's right. Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Hide your kids, hide your wife. What the fuck is happening here? This doesn't seem right. Oh, man.
But medical terminology is often derived from Greek or Latin. So
that is, yeah.
Could possibly.
But that's no different than taxonomy, which we learned in biology and everything. Like Latin is often used for scientific terms, but it doesn't mean you're just instantly fluent in Latin. Everybody just fucking knows.
But
hey guys, I learned all the names of dinosaurs. I know Latin.
Yeah.
Right? I still love you.
Dinosaurus.
Yeah.
Biggest dickus.
Yes.
Bringing it back.
Absolutely.
It's always a bright side of life.
Mm-hmm.
So Devilman is just wandering the streets and he runs into a kid who's just wearing like Satan rules on his shirt. He's like, hey, like shirt. And the kid's like, you suck, get away from me. And then like skateboards away and he's like, oh, well, how about get hit by a bus? Fucker.
Hey kid. Oh.
I love
and like, and he doesn't even look like he's like killed. He's just like mildly inconvenienced. Like, oh, like he falls off his
The bus driver's like, not again. It's the third one this week.
He's like, nice shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. He like,
hail Satan. Puts it on.
Dr. Satan.
I'm gonna wake up in the morning singing that.
Dr. Zayas. When we're playing now, we get done. I don't think I'm fucking playing that song.
But yeah, Devilman goes down to the basement of like this building where it has the symbols that you've been seeing throughout the whole city. And you're like, what's going on in that room? Just massive orgy. Yeah, we get the whole translation of the stuff carved on the priest's chest. He gets killed, and then they figure out, Arnie somehow figures out that the woman, the way that he figures out that her name is Christine York is like so fast. There's no way he figures this shit out this fast. He literally fucking looks at the carving, because one of the carvings is like, it was like, they think it's like New York is initially what it was supposed to be, right? I can't remember what the exact carving was on him, but it was like, he literally walks out there, he's like, what if it's a name? What if it's Christine? Maybe, what if it's not New York? Maybe it's just York. Her name's Christine York. And I went, what? You're not even at the end of the hallway. You're not even to the elevator of the hospital, and you figured it out.
Right before you see him just like hold the script up for a second. Like, it's Christine York.
He's like, I can't think about things for more than 2 minutes, or it's just not believable. I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The steroids have killed his short-term memory.
We love Arnie, okay? We love Arnie.
Yes, we do.
So the people come for Christine. People who are, I guess, good guys, but not really good guys, but they're there to kill her, but in the name of God. And you're like, okay. This is where you just get the like nonchalant, her just whipping off her shirt, and you're like, oh, all right.
It's Section 13 for the Vatican. It's the Iscariot organization. Alexander Anderson, dude. Father Anderson. I'm sorry.
Hello.
Carry on. Pretty much. Think of that same thing, except he's Scottish.
The funniest thing is like when a director is just like, okay, so we're gonna have a group of people come in and attack this woman. What should she be wearing? And they're like, nothing, barely anything. She's gonna wear a robe.
Stupid sexy Flanders.
And they're like, well, let's make sure we shoot it so we don't see much of anything. I'm like, well, what the fuck is the point then?
Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all.
So yeah, Arnie and Bobby are just walking down the street, just casually like, well, I wonder where she lives. And then they start hearing screaming. He's like, well, I guess it's there. It's like convenience after convenience. Like, it must be this place. Yeah, because
she pushed the
thing out the window. Yeah,
thing out the window and broke. Like nobody sees this happening. Like,
it's New York City. Everybody's like, well, that seems normal. I'm gonna keep moving along. All right. And I love how the butler comes in to tell her that somebody was coming, I think. And then literally he's dead within like 5 seconds. He's like, the next scene is her walking into the bathroom and seeing him dead in the tub. Like, oh, poor guy.
Man was just doing his job, dude.
And then Arnie and Bobby come in. There's a shootout. People are fighting. I just love the one dude who swan dives out of the window. He's just like, I'm not getting caught today. It was the guy who was like pinning her to the bed. But also, this guy was taking forever for this dude to do this whole ritual thing where he had to like say the last rites and then stab her. And I was like, this is taking ages.
Can't you just speed read it? Like, just hit the fucking.
How many times have you said it? Yeah. Like, isn't this something you should have memorized pretty well? Like, he's like, fuck, what is that last word? Damn it.
Hold the right side of the screen for 1.5 times.
Yeah, faster, exactly. 100%. Like, Claudio Barada. I know your damn words. Just do the thing.
Oh, man. So, yeah, after everything said and done, Arnie's wandering around her room and he finds a music box. It's the same exact music box that his daughter had. And then this is when she gets all defensive about shit. Like, this man just saved your life. And she's just like, oh, you're just going through people's things. He's like, I'm just holding this. I saw this. It's a fucking music box. I'm sorry. They're just like, this is really weird. Because, like, if they were just here to kill you, they would have just killed you. Like, I would have been too late. But, like, how many people are just walking around reading last rites before they murder someone?
Yeah. And, I like how they managed the bond over substance abuse.
Oh, yeah. It's like, I'm an alcoholic.
I take medication. I was like, you want some? It's like, no, I just drink.
He's like, she's like, I take pills. You want one? I'm an alcoholic. I drink a lot. I was like, yep. I don't think that stops people, but all right.
He's like, I solve my problems the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, like my daddy before me.
Take all my emotions, daddy. Bottle them up, drink.
Yeah. But then I love when, what's her name? The stepmom comes in. She's like, oh my God, really? And I'm like, you big faker. You're part of this. So Devilman wants stepmom to bring Christine to him. And she's like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to him so he can come here. And literally, Udo Kier turns to him and goes, she doesn't want to come here. And just punches through his head. She goes, "Wow!" And you're like, "Damn!" It caught me by surprise. I was not expecting.
I don't need that brain.
Oh Lord! So he's like, "Oh, I guess I'll
ventilated.
go to her." And then Arnie and Christine talk some more, and you find out that the attackers were the good guys because they were actually they weren't the Satanists, because they were like, yeah, well, they were reading last rites. That's not something Satanists would do. So they're good guys.
Good. Remember, it's all down to perspective, dude. Some people thought Hitler was the good guy.
You know,
it's true.
I didn't think we were gonna have that name pop up in this episode, but I guess here we are.
Well, I mean, okay, you take any evil person, say some evil cult.
Yeah.
There's gonna be people that follow the person and think they're doing right.
Of course, that's how cults work.
Yeah, I know, right? It's all fun and games until somebody who stands up and says, "Hey, by the way, this is my cult. I'm the leader. Now I got to have sex with all your wives."
And everybody's like, "Well, I guess if that's what God told you to do,
now drink the Kool-Aid."
All right,
it's not even Kool-Aid; it's Flavor Aid. Fuck, cheap asses.
We're ending this one on a fucking dark note, everybody. This is like last episode of the season. This might be the last episode ever. Let's see how it goes.
I gotta
We'll just kick him out.
I've dropped the ball a little bit.
Dissect That Film canceled.
Then you won't have to worry about coming back. You get a long vacation.
Extra long.
No, I'll just start another show. It's fine.
I was actually thinking about we got backups, right?
Yeah, we got just change the names.
No, he won't invite us back. He'll be on his own.
Fine, I'll go make
I start a new show, Dan. You're not invited.
A no dance club, but you got another Dan on there. No, it's plural. No Dans. We already have one. We can't have more.
There's only one allowed.
Yep.
Oh man, they cut into an apple, and then they look down at the apple, and there's just people in the apple, like ah. And she's like, "Oh, that's weird. Yeah, so I hallucinate, so that's normal for me." And he's like, "But I saw it too." And she's like, "Oh, okay. Well,
I like how that's not expounded upon.
Nothing came about from that.
Is the apple an Adam and Eve reference? Is that, or is it just an apple? They needed some symbolism.
Probably.
Maybe
it could be. I mean, who knows? I didn't really pick up on all like the symbolism. Like, well, this means this. Like, I didn't go that deep. I watched this movie one time.
That's fair.
That was it. Oh man. So Devilman is outside the house and he sees Kevin Pollak there, and he's like, "Well, I got to get rid of this dude." So he pisses. And my phone changed pisses to kisses, and I went, "DM kisses gasoline?" I don't think that's what that was supposed to say. But he pisses gasoline and then blows Kevin Pollak up. Yeah.
Do you feel like, I'm gonna wait till the end of the movie? Just go ahead.
He also blew up the cop too, which I think was the pedo cop. So
he deserved it. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't feel bad.
Yep.
And then stepmom comes in and just manhandles Arnie. She's just tossing him around. Like, fuck, I'm beating the shit out of this dude. And then he literally grabs her head and just throws her through this glass table. And it was fantastic. And
did she have claws?
She did.
I think so.
She had like really long nails and she's like scratching the wall. I'm like, is she possessed? Like, what?
Nobody's going to know what's happening with this comment about to make.
How would they know?
How would they know? How would they know? I'm watching G Gundam with my son, and there's a Devil Gundam, and the Devil Gundam gives people the Devil Gundam cells, DG cells, and it gives them superpowers. And I just thought of this right now. This is really similar to what's going on in this goofy ass anime.
Clearly she has some power because she's just slicing into the wall like it's nothing. I'm like, I don't think that's how fingernails work. So these are like legit claws.
Lady Deathstrike here.
Oh my goodness. And but he finally beats her. They then run away and they go to the alleyway. Oh no, so the cop who blows up wasn't pedo cop, because the pedo cop is in this scene with the other cop with Marge. And you're like, of course Marge is part of this now. And but she dead now. They both dead.
Arnie lights him up with his
lights him up.
Sleeve guns.
But then DM comes over and he's like, "You alive now?"
Yeah, he casts zombification.
Yeah. Well, he also
animate dead.
He does kill. He kills stepmom too, because stepmom's like bleeding and all that. And he's just like, "You had one job and you suck at it." She's like, ah. He ends her.
Be Dr. Satan. No.
And then he's like, I like how he's chasing Christine through the house. He's like, you know who I am because you dream about me all the time. Fucking the shit out of you. And she's like, I'm afraid I'm going to want to go to him. So
it's that carnal lust, man. She'll never want to come back from it.
Well, that's the thing. She talks about it in this next scene where she talks to Arnie about how she always dreams about him. And she's like, I feel like at some point I'm just like, if he comes for me, I'm going to want to go with him.
He is going to come for her a lot.
Yes.
And so is she.
That's how you make an antichrist.
Yep, it is.
Devil plus someone plus come
unwilling
equals antichrist.
Devil plus unwilling participant.
Yeah.
Somebody that you planned for 20 years. Weird. Okay.
This sounds like that weird arranged marriage shit. You're like, I don't know about that, man.
Yeah. Not a fan. So they go to the church, and this is when you get the breakdown that 666 isn't actually the number of the beast. It's actually 999, which is why this shit is happening in 1999. And I went, all right, we're stretching it here, guys. Wow.
The dots, they're connecting, man.
Yeah, because this is the year that he would return. And the symbols that we've been seeing around is like the symbols that are like the symbols that symbolize she is the one who is going to bear his child, or the Antichrist. And it has to happen before the unholy hour, before midnight, New Year's Eve. And I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's like, is that like Eastern time?
Yeah, that's fair, though. That's fair.
Yeah, you're right. So Arnie still doesn't believe a thing. After everything he is told, he doesn't believe a single thing. He's like, nope, the best thing we can do is have her come with me, and we're good. We're going to go. And she's like, but I kind of want to stay here. And he's like, all right, well, cool. I'm going to go. And then we're back at the Vatican, and the Pope is still the same Pope. But he's looking a little rough. He's in a wheelchair.
Just put his ass in a chair. He doesn't look any older in 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like, I mean, it's the same guy. So
it's like Warhammer with the Immortal King. Like, they never die. They just worship this man, and he's just alive forever, strapped to his throne.
He's literally just a corpse. His heart still beats, though. As long as we can hear that, he's fine.
Yep. Normal stuff.
So Arnie's back at his apartment, and Devilman shows up, and he's pretty much trying to bargain with him. Like, hey, you give me the location of the girl, which is crazy. He's the devil. He can't find her. He's got to ask someone.
I need directions. He doesn't know what GP. No, that didn't exist. But whatever.
She took out her AirTag.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I thought that's what the blood was for this whole time. Like, this is your tag. This is how you find her.
Well, the thing is he when they're at the church, the priest mentions that the devil can't enter the church. So is it like, okay, so it's making you believe like, okay, so that means the devil can't see inside. So that means if she hides at the church, he can't see that she's there. But then that all gets thrown away later on.
Yep.
So it's like, so how is he just not like, oh, well, she's there? Instead, he's got to go to Arnie and be like, listen, I'll give you your wife and daughter back if you tell me where the girl is. And he's like, no, because it's not real. It's not going to be real. But then we see how the wife and daughter died. And you're like, oh, that sucks.
Yes.
We then get the whole, like, it's like a whole showdown where Arnie gets thrown out the window. You get the whole thing where he's like grabbing onto the glass. I was like, it's rough.
Oh, that was bad.
That was bad. But then he grabs onto Devilman, throws him out, and he lands on top of the vehicle.
Can you fly, motherfucker?
The funniest thing is that you expect the devil to be indestructible, right? Like, he can't die.
Mm-hmm.
But he is only possessing this body. It's just a vessel. It's not the devil. Like, this isn't his body. Later on in the movie, he is pretty wounded to the point where he, like, escapes the body. Why does that not happen here? He got thrown out a window from like 10 stories up and lands on top of a car, and then he's just gone. Like, all right, I guess it wasn't as bad.
Great question.
Yeah, I don't know. And also, why does Arnold live in the same apartment that his wife and daughter got murdered in? Like, nope. I'm moving.
No, I wouldn't stay there either.
I am moving as soon as I can. They were literally murdered in the bedroom that he sleeps in every day. That's no.
How could you stay there? That would bother you. That would bother me so much.
Oh man.
Probably why he drinks.
Probably.
It's probably why he drinks.
Oh, absolutely is.
Stay there.
Yeah. But yeah, this is what like Devilman makes his sales pitch. He also says the title of the movie, and then we get the whole thing. Kevin Pollak shows up, and he is fine. And I went, how the hell is this man clean? There's no scrapes, no bruises, nothing, no blood. This man was next to an exploding vehicle, but he's fine. And then he actually shoots him to prove that he's really him. And so you're like, oh shit, he's back. Good, because I like Bobby. The good guys from before show up, and they show up to the church to kill Christine, yeah. And Arnie, as she's about to get killed, he shoots the knife, and then he shoots the priest in the hand, which is a symbolism because he gets shot in the palm. So it's like the whole Jesus, getting nailed to the cross symbol. The Devilman shows up to the church, and they're like, what? Why? How is he in here? And he's like, well, it hurts. This is painful, but I'm the Devilman. I don't care about pain. So he goes in there and he kills a bunch of people in there. He kills like all of he kills the cardinal and all the people that were in his group. And Arnie and Christine escape out the side of the church into an alleyway, and it's pouring now. And then they get surrounded by a bunch of people. And then like he tells Christine to go to Kevin Pollak, and Kevin Pollak's like, come on, we're good. And then doesn't let Arnie in, and you're like, shit, he's part of it. Fuck.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then Arnie just gets his ass beat and then gets strung up like Jesus.
Arnie is Jesus. Not really, but
the Austrian.
I mean, a lot of people were crucified, so
yeah,
it wasn't just Jesus.
Yeah, but I think that's mostly what you're symbolizing here. Like, yes, crucifixions were a common thing back in those days, but mostly that's what people think about.
True.
So it is New Year's Eve, and the father's just wandering around in his sweats, and he's just like, "It looks like Arnold up there. What's he doing up there? Strung up.
What are you doing?
Yeah,
rough night at the bar.
Just hanging around."
I guess his daughter was on set for this scene for when he gets strung up. It's like, oh, that's a perfect scene to be like, hey, you want to come to work with Daddy? This is the one who would eventually marry Chris Pratt.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So the Pope is notified that the Devilman has Christine. He just goes, well, we're fucked. That's pretty much what he says. He's like, man, well, I guess it's over. We're screwed. I was like, wow, we didn't even put up a fight. And then Arnie just shows up to his work to prep for this final battle, just grabbing guns, explosives, and all this stuff. And I love his boss is just like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? And just lets him walk.
Stops him?
No, and nobody is gonna listen. I'm looking over. I'm like, no, not even bothering with that.
Yeah, like he comes in. He's not even a cop anymore, mind you.
Well, no, this isn't the police station though. This is like the security place he works for. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny. It's just the boss following him, just like, what are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? It's like, wow, you did a great job doing your job, bro. So he finds Kevin Pollak's car, and then he follows somebody down into the basement that we saw Devilman go to earlier in the movie. And you get a blind man pops out of the shadows. He's like, what are you here for? And he's like, vengeance and hatred. And he's like, perfect. That's what we're looking for. And he lets him proceed.
Smells him. He's like,
yeah, you hate.
You can go on in.
Yeah.
I can feel your hatred.
You smell ripe. Move on. So they find the Devil's Party. And
yes, it is.
Arnie lights the place up, just absolutely just taking everybody out. CCH Pounder sees him. I can't even say her fucking name right.
She gets a proper pound in this scene, baby.
She notices that he's there, but then he's somehow able to get into the group and like disguise himself there. I don't know. People just don't realize it's him.
He just walks through and goes, Emotep. And everybody's like, he's one of those guys.
He's part of that group. Hey, you're in the next room.
Did we invite them?
This is
probably just Satan's thing.
This is Satan's corner. Imhotep. Club Imhotep is next door.
Yes, it is.
Oh man. So yeah, there's just explosions and flames and all that. Kevin Pollak decides to turn back to the light side, but unfortunately he made a deal with the devil that the devil would, because he did actually blow up with the van and the devil saved him. And so since he turned against the devil, he resets him on fire. He's like, bye.
Michael Arnold doesn't even try to do anything. He's like, no. And the guy just runs away. And he's like, fuck the devil. Like,
run around.
He does it.
It's so good. Oh, but then they go into they go into a hallway and it's like the worst green screen effect. I was like, oh no, someone did not look this over very well. Because to be honest, the effects work in this movie has actually been pretty good. Like I haven't been like, oh god, that doesn't look great. But like this one scene of a green screen hallway was just like, what happened? We didn't light it well. And then we get the whole thing where they dive under the train. I was like, oh my god, this shit is just getting crazy. And she's just running around in like this really flowy dress with no shoes on. Just running down a subway track. Like, all right.
There's no way Arnie's big ass forehead wouldn't have clipped that fucking train, dude. Just
so Devilman gets hit by the train, and then they're in the train, and then he is doing this thing where he's just reaching his hand through the train, and it's just like I just called it whack-a-hand because they're just like ha ha ha, just keeps hitting it. Yeah, and then the last hand goes through the conductor's chest. He's like,
bonus point.
Yeah,
we don't need that. Right? He's good.
Oh man. And then Robin, what the hell does it say? Robin Tunney is pulling Arnie up, and I went, yeah, okay. Like he's dangling off the end of the train and she's the one pulling him up. I'm like, no, that's not happening. No. He is dangling there the rest of the way. Unless he pulls himself up. Yeah, there's no way. Sorry. So Devilman gets an explosive round to the chest, and this is kind of the end of this body. Because the train crashes with him on it, and then we see his like mangled body as he is calling for Jericho. And this is great. I thought the effects on Gabriel Byrnes' mangled body was really well done.
It's good.
That definitely looked practical. And then the soul leaves. The devil like escapes the body and goes to get Jericho and get the girl, get Christine. So pretty much they show up to the church, and the entire church is just surrounded by Devilman's followers. Because somehow, I don't know if he put some weird like dust over the city, but like he is able to get followers so fast. Like, where did all these people come from?
He's like, you lied on your taxes. Boom, you're on my army.
He's like, one's like, I came from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I came from Idaho. These people from all over the country.
Yep, absolutely.
We're here to fight next to the devil. Oh, and the church starts falling apart while they're inside. This is when the devil possesses Arnie's body, and he like pins Christine to the like slab there, and then he is able to fight the devil off to the point where the devil like disappears, but then emerges from the floor as like an actual demon monster, which originally was supposed to be practical. I guess Stan Winston and his studio created an entirely practical monster. And then Peter Hyams decided, no, we're just going to mask it with CGI.
Of course.
Boo.
Yeah. I guess it was all about lighting, which I guess was a lot of many people's issues with this movie.
Can you just make it darker?
Yeah. Can you just make it so no one can see it?
Turn all the lights out.
It's fine.
He's like, he wants his audience to be like that blind man earlier in the movie.
But yeah, this is when Arnie, like, in order for him to save the day and be able to defeat the demon or the devil, he has to find his faith, and he does. And so that's why he's able to fight off the devil that's possessing his body.
They need to change this.
They need to change this?
Yes, I want to put, like, when he's, like, looking up at the, like, symbol, like, the statues and stuff of, like, God and angels and stuff like that. It just needs to start playing Like a Prayer by Madonna. Like in Deadpool. I don't know. It's not to be funny. It's not to be funny. Now I can mentally see this scene with that song.
Oh God! As he's fighting the devil.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh man. So in order for the devil to be defeated, Arnie had to sacrifice himself. So like when everything is crumbling, the statue of one of the angel, I don't know what angel this is. It's the one with the sword. He decides to sacrifice himself.
No, I'm trying to think of who it is. It's what is it?
Is it Gabriel?
It's probably Gabriel.
Yeah, okay. I guess he's probably the most notable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see if they put it in the description. No, it just says that he dives on the sword. I think it's Gabriel. And he dives on the sword to sacrifice himself to also release the devil. And what?
Debatable, but carry on because I have some real issues with this final scene. Go ahead.
And well, it's because he is able to do it before, right as New Year's hits, which means that the devil has to go away for another 1,000 years. Like he can't do his thing.
Exiled back to Georgia.
No, he just gets it's like 1,000 year blue balls. It wasn't able to let it rip.
Is that why he went with Charlie Daniels down to Georgia? He's like, I need a soul to mend my blue balls. Rub some soul on there.
But yeah, because he sacrificed himself, he gets to see his wife and daughter again. And Christine sees them too. And I went, oh, okay. And he dies. And this is the only time Arnold has died as of this movie. So this was the only movie at the time where Arnold died in a movie where he's not playing a Terminator.
Dun, 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 dun. How do we know he's not playing a Terminator?
We don't. So that could be wrong. Also, there was an alternate ending where he actually gets God like saves him. Like he sees he sacrifices himself and God sees his sacrifice and actually saves him. And him and Christine like walk out of the church together. And I guess test audiences liked the one where he died fully more, even though the studio didn't like it because Peter Heim actually went to the studio and told them what he wanted the ending to be. And the studio was like, you don't kill Arnold Schwarzenegger. And test audiences liked it.
So, he got to be with his wife and kids. It was a good ending for him.
It was a good ending for him. And then we get Happy New Year. And that's it. That's the end of days. Dan, what do you got to say?
Complain about the end of days.
Okay.
I like how he's like the devil's like, oh, I'm gonna possess this man, this father-like figure for you and have him have sex with you to make this even more fucking weird.
Yeah.
And then he's like fighting it because he's fucking Schwarzenegger and shit. And he's like, run. And he sits there and it's like 5-6 seconds to countdown. I'm like, dude, just hold your nut. Let her run. She could probably run from you for like 5 or 6 seconds and you don't have to sacrifice yourself.
Yep.
But I know why they did it, but like honestly, like you had time.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was the sacrifice that was just like, oh, the perfect way to end it, right?
Yeah. Like we gotta do the sacrifice play. Like, no, dude, it's fine. Just step over here. We'll be all right. You could live too.
Yep. But that is it. That is the end of 1999's End of Days and our final plot breakdown of the season. What are our final thoughts on End of Days? Start with Angela.
As the religious expert.
I thought it was too long.
Okay.
They could have cut so much out of it. But I mean, I still enjoyed it for the most part. Would I rewatch it? Probably not.
Could you show this as a religious, like, educational film in church?
No.
Okay, carry on.
It's rated R. No, there's boobs.
Well, people die all the time in the Bible.
There's boobs.
There's boobs in the Bible.
There probably is.
And
there's underage marriage in the Bible, too.
You don't. Fuck you.
I know they're trying to tell you, like, whatever. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's in there. You can't gloss over it. I know why, dear. I'm kidding.
I'm pretty sure there was not people morphing into each other in the Bible.
Probably not. I don't know.
Weirdest.
You see like webbed fingers, and I'm
like the weirdest porn I've ever looked up. I was like, oh, what is Okay, we're gonna skip past
ain't
that.
the weirdest shit I've ever seen, unfortunately. I've been on the internet. Hey, I've been around, kid. I've been a square kid.
You've been on 4chan.
I have.
That's enough right there.
I'm sorry, carry
No,
on.
I'm done.
So
After
okay,
that,
film, not good for Sunday school. Got it.
exactly.
Perfect description.
I'm gonna tell Austin tomorrow, where dude, I got a really good religious movie you should watch.
Oh my gosh. Do not drag me into that.
I'm gonna tell my wife advocates. She's
No.
the actual churchgoer. She's like, this is good.
No. Stop it.
What do you got, Dan?
Yeah, now you can't remember what you were gonna say. See, karma.
I guess, yeah. That's fair. Turnabout's fair play. I thought it was enjoyable. Like, is Arnie being Arnie? Like, I think some of the scenes, like I said, was drug out. It was kind of neat to see him in like a slightly different film, because I most, like we talked about, Arnie stuff is like Terminator, like action films, like traditional action films is what I'm used to seeing him in. And no, it was not bad. It was all right. Like, there's some decent gunplay in it for the most part, it seemed like, and interesting choice at the end for his like primary weapon being the MP5 with the underbarrel grenade launcher. But like, fuck yeah, dude, make it happen. And yeah, I thought it was all right. I enjoyed my watch of it. Can't say I wouldn't watch it again. I don't know if I'd seek it out, but it was like, hey, if it's on, I'm like, yeah, why not? It's not that bad. I don't see why everybody hated on it as much, I guess, but I mean, it does have some plot holes, mind you. But and then like the epiphany moment of like
a few plot holes where hands are kind
of. I'm surprised it wasn't like a picture or like a picture of Jesus and like a York peppermint patty just sitting on the table. It's like it's Christine York. Yeah, like I don't know why. Whatever. But yeah, it was fine. I thought it was enjoyable, and it was a slightly different Schwarzenegger movie. So
yeah,
there we are. Yeah, I didn't think this movie was terrible. I will agree with Angela. This movie was slightly too long. There was some parts that just seemed like it just didn't need to be a thing. I thought Arnold's performance was just more Arnold, nothing super special about it, but it was, I think that was a lot of the stuff that probably could have been trimmed.
It's a real song, dude. And I was Googling it earlier because I want to listen to it when we're done. And I actually typed in Stinkfest, and I was like, whoa, maybe don't want to be part of that.
Don't want to be looking that up.
Oh, no.
Oh, but
just gym bags and people ripping ass in your face.
Yeah. This is, I've always been a fan of like religious horrors or like religious supernatural movies. I always found them interesting, how different people would interpret these type of things. As somebody who doesn't follow those things, I always found them interesting. So I thoroughly had a good time. I liked Bobby. I thought Gabriel Byrne killed it as the devil. I thought he really put in a really eerie performance. And yeah, I think Arnie is kind of the outcast in this movie. I think he was probably the one that they were like, yeah, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's a big name. We got to give him something to do. But I don't think he was probably the perfect fit for this. I understand he wasn't originally supposed to be in it, but hey, he tries his best, and I love Robin Tunney. I thought she did a really good job for what she was given.
Question.
Yeah.
Keep it Arnie. Who do you think would be, like, obviously we've seen this version, so we're slightly skewed. Arnie or the exact same movie, but it's Sly Stallone?
Oh, Arnie.
Okay.
I don't see Sly in this movie.
I'm not saying you. I was just curious.
He's too action for me. Like, I feel like Arnie at least has some, like, he does I think Arnie does a well enough job in this movie. I think he is the outcast of the movie. He's the one I think you could replace out of all the other actors in this. I think he's the one who's easily replaced, but I still didn't hate his performance. I thought it was fine.
I will say one more thing about his scene where he's kind of like rediscovering his faith. Yeah. And like asks for God to help him. I really just wanted, the whole time he's doing this, it's just the one scene from Conan where he's like, if you don't help me crom, to hell with you. That's what I was thinking of like the whole time.
Conan.
Yeah,
Conan.
It's definitely not one I'm gonna like seek out again, but if somebody were like, hey, you want to talk about End of Days? I'd be like, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
I'll do it again. All right. Now we're going to go to social media for the last time this year, and we're going to see what you all had to say about End of Days. And we're going to start over on Twitter. Our first one is from Stu from SWO Productions, or Stu World Order. He says, I irrationally like this flick, even though it is objectively not as good, or not that good. And then Jesse, or at JMasterKing1, says, though it's been a while since I've seen this movie, I love it. Hey.
Hi, there you go, dude.
We love to hear it. Over on Instagram, we got a couple. We got one from Captain Steve Coates, the host of Bucket of Chum podcast. Go check him out over on Patreon right now. He says, this movie is more fun than it should be. Naturally, I own it on Blu-ray. I tried to get the Blu-ray before our episode. It just didn't work out too well. So, Dewey Pod Monster, as I lose my phone, said, we really enjoyed Arnold's breakfast shake. Yeah, it was something.
Yes.
It was something.
Breakfast of Champions, dude.
And then Nate from Give Me Back My Horror Movie says, the Antichrist must be born. The Antichrist must be born in the Eastern Standard Time Zone.
It has to be.
It has to be. There's no other way.
Parker's still thinking about that pizza and that shake.
I know. I've just been craving the pizza.
Ugh.
Enjoy the pizza.
I think this is so gross.
And then blend shit like that together just blows my mind.
And
I know there's people
there's like shaking it, like, all right, we gotta get it down there. We have one over on Threads from Horror Curator who says, I really enjoy this one. The editing and pacing is all over the place, but Arnold's great in it, and there's something about it that works for me.
Yeah.
Hey, we respect it. We respect
Absolutely.
it. And then I'm going to check over on Blue Sky and see if we got anything over there.
Blue skies.
And there is nothing, so we're going to move on. Thank you so much, everybody, for...
Wait, I have one.
Oh, go ahead.
I have one.
From who?
It says, I wish this episode was this podcast's Ends of Days. No, I'm just kidding. Nobody said that shit.
I was like, your screen is off.
I was like, the sign is there. That's it, guys. I'm calling it quits. It's over. Oh, seriously. Thank you to everybody who listens to the show, to supports the show. Another season has come and gone, but we are not going anywhere. We're just taking a slight break. But we're not going to stop putting stuff out. I have a lot of stuff saved from the Monster Zone, from the former Patreon show, and some old Out of the Tubies that I'm going to throw out on the feed during our break. So at least you guys will have some Dissect That Film to listen to, and some Dissect That Film you might not have listened to yet. So we're not going to be completely gone. We're just not going to be recording anything new for probably about a month. So, but we'll keep you. I'll keep you fed. I'll keep you fed. I'll give you something.
That's some good shit on there, dude.
Give you a treat here and there. But
Nothing wrong with holiday leftovers.
No, absolutely not. But as for us, you can follow us on all the social media apps at Dissect That Film or at Dissect That Film Pod, which is what our name is over on Instagram and Threads. We are on the Blue Sky, which is the newest flavor of the week. We are on Patreon, patreon.com/Dissect That Film, where you can just support the show. You can financially support us, help us pay for the things that we use to do this podcast. I've been releasing episodes early, uncut, so pretty much as the version that is freshly recorded is what you're getting on Patreon. So it's all of our bloopers and breaks and like pre-show stuff that just us kind of just talking before we actually get to the episode. So yeah, you get to listen to some saucy stuff. Maybe there'll be some, you're welcome. And maybe there'll be some new Patreon things going on next year. You'll just have to wait and see, but you can go over there, patreon.com/Dissect That Film, and drop just a single $1 to support the show.
$1.
All we're asking for is that $1. Because it seriously helps us out. But if you can't do that, that is perfectly okay, because you can go to your favorite podcast app and drop us 5 stars. You can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Good Pods. You could go over to youtube.com/Dissect That Film and like the video you're watching right now. You can subscribe to us for free. You can leave us comments on the movie that we're talking about in the episode, or recommend movies that you want us to cover in the future. Seriously, those reviews, though, really help our show. They get us into more ears. And YouTube, it's just, it's all free. So you can just go support us there and get us to 1,000 subscribers, because we're getting there. We're getting there. We're not going to hit that by the end of the year, but we're gonna get there at some point. That is all the wonderful places you can support us. If you're looking for all of our links, you can go to our LINKTREE, which is in the bio of pretty much every social media app we have. LINKTREE/Dissect That Film, where we have all of those links that I just stated, plus our merch store and probably other things. So you can go there. Everything will be in the description as well, or in the show notes. I think that's it. Actually, I do have one more thing for the last time this year. Pause for effect.
If you don't know where the hole goes, don't put your dick in it. If so equipped.
That is advice.
Yes, it is.
Perfect.
Great advice.
It's my dad advice.
Oh my goodness. All right. Last thing is to thank our wonderful patrons. We have Billy Joseph Jr., Andrew Schoening, Corey Morissette, Dustin from the Flicks and Friends podcast, Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming, Anna Presley, Doom Generation, Eric Stein, Jason, Robert Stewart, Rudy5453, and the Barron's Hideout podcast, and JGM, Movie Fanatic, Paul Jansen, Dennis, Charles, Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast, and official Joey C. Thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon. Thank you to everybody else for just supporting us, period, because without you, this show wouldn't be a thing, and we're having a blast, and we hope you're having a blast listening to us. And seriously, the season has been a roller coaster ride, but I can't say that we haven't had fun, because we have had a lot of fun this year. And next year, we're hoping it's going to be bigger and better, because we're going into another year, and we got some fun things planned for you, so stay tuned. Until next time, I am Brett Parker. That is Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming. We are Dissect That Film, and this has been the season finale of the Dissect That Film podcast. We'll see y'all again next season. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Happy New Year!